E aí, seus lindos? Da hora. Tudo certo com vocês? Espero que sim. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um episódio. Se liga aí, hoje iremos continuar exatamente de onde paramos no vídeo anterior. Aliás, se você não assistiu o vídeo anterior, eu recomendo muito que você assista o primeiro episódio. O vídeo ficou sensacional. Vai lá, assiste o vídeo, deixa o seu like e bota o comentário lá. Se não assistiu o primeiro episódio, beleza? Não me abandona não, hein? Então vamos lá. Aqui a gente tá no quarto da Molly. Ontem a gente finalizou a história da Molly. Ontem ela ficou de castigo no quarto dela sem o jantar. E resumo da história, ficou morrendo de fome. Só que uma coisa que eu fiquei intrigado no dia de ontem foi o real motivo da morte dela. Pelo que eu entendi, o jogo deixou no ar esse motivo. Não teve nenhum momento que foi mencionado de fato por que ela morreu. Ou eu perdi alguma coisa, ou a gente vai descobrir hoje. Então vem comigo nessa segunda parte e bora pra gameplay.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Beleza, agora aqui é o banheiro, né? Deixa eu ver. A gente nem consegue entrar mais no banheiro, né? Não. Beleza.
I can't describe it, but I felt like some part of Molly was still here.
É. E agora, será que a gente vai sair pela janela mesmo? Mas a janela... É, vai ser pela janela mesmo. Ah, onde eu viajei, né? Porque ontem, na história da Molly, ela
This would be
saiu de
obvious
casa...
later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly.
Ah, lembra ontem que eu falei? Falei assim, poxa, mas Molly não é o gato? E que a Molly deu o nome de Molly pro gato. Então, aí eu fiquei confuso, porque ontem na história da Molly, ela saiu transformada de gato à noite. Então agora, meio de manhã, deu uma bugada na cabeça. Coisa de velho, né?
I
Bora.
spent a lot of time in Great Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom.
No quarto da
When Edie told
Bisa.
people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. Even
Aqui é a
in the
família.
90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Nossa senhora, isso sim é um banheiro rosa.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace.
E se liga nesse chão. Mano do céu, eu tô sentindo no pé. Meu Deus, era pra ter a casa inteira assim. Um banquinho pra tomar banho. Tem uma coisa aqui, ó. Ah, o diário. O diário não, né?
There's a secret in this bathroom. It's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. It's hidden in this book. Sven gave
Olha.
Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Sven, não sei falar. Ó, o irmão Milton. Putz, agora... Peraí. Agora eu quero voltar ali. Porque eu tô seguindo um caminho. Mas eu acho que eu nem olhei nada. Será que eu consigo voltar por aqui? Consigo. Calma. Tá entendendo que por ali eu vou seguir, né? Porque aqui, ó, a porta tá lacrada, mas tem uma parada aqui no quarto que a gente não olhou. Vamos dar uma olhada aqui melhor. 1937. Sven Finch. Ó, eu não ia perder.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious.
O homem topeiro. Ah, viu o tanto de gaiola. E a gente entrou por aqui, né? Eu nem vi isso. Que dá... Ai, meu, que sinistro. E tem a fotinha dos pássaros. Nossa, cara, que loucura. Não, não é só pássaro, não. Ó. E tem uma cobra aqui, ó. Não. É. Uma... E aquele barato ali no meio ali? Parece tipo uma escada. Né? Um quadrado com uma escada, parece. É isso. Eu não consigo baixar. Parece um lagarto, uma iguana. Parece uma iguana.
Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Olha que da hora. Será que era a Bisa que pintava?
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Da hora, parece que foi pintado tipo numa pedra, né? Nem pintado, né? Parece que veio da pedra, sabe aquelas pedras? Fica o desenho bonitinho. Ai, ó, Molly, as mãozinhas. Bárbara, Calvin, Sam, Walter, Gus. É todo mundo daqui? Cadê? Ó, o Gus, a Sam, Calvin, Bárbara, Down. Ai, que da hora. Ó, o Levis, Milton, Edith. Edith sou eu, né? É. Gregory. Ai, que da hora.
Her room was like a museum.
É, um museu mesmo. Pra família, né? A família é sensacional.
The Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind.
Levou a casa no barco.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery.
Ah, lembra que eu falei da estátua? Olha a estátua aí.
His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house.
Putz, cara.
Whatever's wrong with
Será
this
que
family, it goes back a long ways.
a casa já era amaldiçoada? A família? Meu. Aqui, ó, que a gente tinha visto do outro lado, que tava trancada. Sven e Edie. Mas deixa eu ver uma coisa aqui. Que eu fiquei meio sem entender. Ai, não dá pra ver de novo? Ai, não dá pra ver de novo. O Adi morreu no transporte? Não, né? Ele perdeu a casa e construiu uma nova casa, que é essa daqui, na ilha de Washington. Foi isso, né? O que eu entendi foi isso. Eu fiquei meio sem entender. Porque lá embaixo, no primeiro episódio, a gente tinha visto que o Odin foi o construtor original, né? Da casa, né? E pelo que eu entendi lá fora, a casa foi reconstruída várias vezes, né? Tem umas partes pra cima, os quartos. Forte do Calvin. Da hora. Muita foto, muito livro.
I knew Grandpa
Aqui,
Sam
ó.
had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Que da hora. É o Calvin. O Calvin, então, é o irmão gêmeo do Sven.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Ai, que da hora. Cada analógico é uma perna.
He swore he'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly.
Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming.
But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Putz, cara.
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that.
Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again.
Maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Desgrila.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Hum,
The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did.
putz, cara.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Caraca, meu.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room.
Putz. Não, é o Sam e o Calvin. Não é o Sven.
Mom said Grandma
Sven é
Sam
o
enlisted
vô.
at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Putz.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
E agora tem ali e tem aqui. Vamos por aqui primeiro. Eu acho que por aqui vai. Nossa, que da hora. Eu ódio. Consigo voltar? Consigo, né? Tipo um atalho, né? Eita, nós. Que susto. O quarto da Bárbara.
Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
O pé grande.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Nossa, que ela já tá grande já, né?
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Now that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding and winding until finally the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue. She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Da hora. É gameplay. Mano, tô dentro de gibi.
And imagine the worst.
The gang's leader is the infamous Hookman killer, Dr. Carl Hamill, who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Que isso, uma árvore?
It rattled and grew still.
Rick?
Barb, relax. I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused and...
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she fell asleep watching the Late Picture Show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there? Ah! Okay, I'm coming up, but if this is a trick, you're dead, Walter.
Nossa, cara, que da hora.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Barbara turned, saw the bookman, and was speechless. He was quite smashing. He couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
No quarto do vô, no... Isso.
She played her part beautifully. She thought about abandoning Walter, but just couldn't do it. Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges grow. He wasn't moving, but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
História verdadeira.
The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Mano.
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Oh dear.
The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life. I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what they call a real eerie tale.
Edie told me all Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Sinistra, hein? Eu acho que aqui é um bom momento, galera, pra gente se ver amanhã. Então, tudo de certo. Muito obrigado. Não se esquece, deixe seu like, deixe seu comentário, compartilhe com os caras, com as minas, com todo mundo que curte esse tipo de conteúdo. Espero vocês aqui amanhã. Amanhã tem novo episódio. Valeu, um abraço, tudo de bom. Fui!